transparent as I could possibly be, despite the embarrassment. I think it's absolutely necessary for the community, even if I have to do it at my own expense. And that's literally and figuratively. I noticed that a good portion of the 2K community, we stay blinded with the amount of money that we spend on 2K. I don't know if a good amount of players in the community understand that there aren't many gaming communities, and it's usually the sports community that gets abused by the developers. We get put in a position where, we love the sport that we love, and if we could live vicariously through a video game, then so be it. That's what we do when we spend that money. Sorry I haven't gotten to the comments yet. I'll get to the comments in just a second. I had to kind of just sound off. I have to kind of get this off my chest so we could create some dialogue about it. When I considered my experience on 2K23, I didn't have fun. It was an exhausting experience. Every time I got on the game, and the folks that I run with could validate what I'm saying right now. And this was the case for a lot of us. We got on the game, we didn't even enjoy the game. And I'm not saying that for the sake of saying it. What I mean is, I was still dumb enough to spend over $1,000 on a game that I didn't enjoy. When one of my arguments when folks say, are you going to buy VC? Are you going to buy Boost? Should you buy VC? And, I always say no, but that I'm going to do it. And then when I look back on 2K23 and I see that, I wasn't even having fun, bro. I had to delete the game about 2 weeks ago. Had to straight delete it. I got off the game mid-season. I got on Zelda, created a whole new channel, got that channel monetized, and I still spent over $1,000. I tell people you can't put a price on you can't put a price on the value of entertainment for each individual. But then I look back on 2K23 and I'm like, I wasn't even having fun. So that's not entertaining. Entertainment's supposed to be fulfilling. That's what made me realize that I really had an issue. Like, there's a real problem here. How am I spending this amount of money? And I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here. I'm just giving you guys the facts, because maybe some of you guys are doing the same exact thing, because I didn't realize it. Osmond Gold and Angry Joe, two gamers outside of the 2K community. I watched their videos. The homie All City Big Heck sent me their videos. Let's go, and they were in shock. They were in shock. These are big creators, yeah. They were not only in shock that we got paid seasons. That was like just the starting point. When they found out that 2K has 4 different versions of the game, 2 of them are $70. The next one goes up to $100. And they were ranting off of that alone. Off of that alone, they went crazy. Just when they found out it was up to $100 for one of the versions of 2K. When they clicked on the $150 version, I dropped it on my Twitter. You guys could go see it as well. But when they clicked on and saw that 2K had a $150 version, they lost their mind. They went on to say that sports gamers have been abused by these AAA titles, from FIFA to Madden to 2K. Other games, other developers, you don't spend. I bought Zelda, played the game through. I didn't spend not $1. I didn't need to, outside of the unit sale. And I had 1,000 more times fun on Zelda than I did on 2K23. 1,000 times more fun, hands down. You guys know, if you follow me, that's one of my favorite games. So that lets me know, like, there's a real problem here, B. Like, there's something really wrong that we can't even see this amount of money being spent because of entertainment. But you're not being entertained. That's when it becomes a problem. It's one thing if you truly enjoy the game. We don't even need to have this conversation. If you truly enjoyed the game, I'm not trying to influence you either way. If you enjoyed it, so be it. You enjoyed it. I personally did not enjoy 2K23. I loved the release. I'm going to get to the comments in just a second. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid the comments so that I don't get influenced by them and I can just get this off my chest. The fact is, I didn't enjoy 2K23. And then I look back on my transaction history, which I shared with you guys on Twitter, on TikTok, and a YouTube short today. As embarrassing as it is, I found out that I spent $1,100, and this is not how I operate. In no other aspect of my life would you catch me spending this amount of money for entertainment. Nothing else. Only 2K. My vow to y'all is that changes right now. I am going to go from spending $1,100, close to $1,200. I should just say $1,200. I am going to go from spending $1,200, 2K23, to spending $70 for 2K24 the entire year. I thought it was absolutely necessary. We got a ton of questions that need answers. When I saw that these other gamers from different communities are just laughing at us and just in utter shock that players even spend this much on a video game that's released annually. Mind you, these other gamers get their game for like 3 years. It's not an annual cycle thing. And they don't even come close to spending this amount of money in 3 years playing their game. Considering the idea that 2K's costs are going to skyrocket, considering the idea that they added seasons as an option to pay for premium rewards, I said, no mas, coachy. It's no going down, man. If I don't operate like this in no other aspect of my life, never would I put this much money into like an entertainment thing. Maybe a vacation is understandable, but never on something like a video game. How did 2K get away with this and let it fly under the radar that so much so I didn't even notice? I have a problem. And that changes right now. Right now. 2K24, $70 is all that 2K gets out of me. I'm not asking you guys to do the same thing. Just asking you guys to be more aware. At the very least, be more aware. And I'll cap this off before I get to the comments. I'll cap this off by saying our microtransactions got two of Take-Two's top two execs a $40 million raise. $40 million bonus, not a raise, a bonus. They made $30 million in 2K22. That number jumped up to $70 million for 2K23. And I expect that number to go well over $100 million, maybe even closer to $150 million for two people in 2K24. Let's get to the comments. Salute to y'all, man. Salute to y'all. Y'all don't need to do the same thing. It's a hard task. From what I understand, this task is being done and has been done in my team. They do it, no money spent. But it proves to be a much more difficult and tedious task in my career. And we're gonna take on that task. I owe it to myself. I owe it to the community. For the sake of gathering information, for the sake of getting the same analytical data that 2K got on you guys when they offered you free seasons, I need that analytical data. I need that so we can make a proper assessment on pay-to-win mechanics, if any, in 2K. We need this information, and it has to be done for the entirety of the annual cycle. And that's just me. There's a challenge that I'm taking on. Whoever's down with that challenge, so be it. I'm with you. We could grind together. But that's where I'm at with it, y'all. Let's get to the comments. Salute to y'all, man. No money spent. Damn, All City 1,200 in a game in a year is equivalent of 3 different PS5s. Facts. I'm streaming it and making videos. By the way, my intention, and to help confirm all of this with you guys. The same way I dropped this video today with my transaction history is the same way to tell you guys how serious I am about that for the folks that think this is cap. At the end of the year, I will show you guys my transaction history to assure you that it's only $70 spent, the standard version of the game. I'll put my platform on it. This is not going down. I'm grown, yeah. This affected me when I saw this number, it affected me in ways that I didn't like about myself. I said, no way. I've always thought that I've had a stronger mind, that I will never, and I'm not making myself out to be a victim, but the fact is we are victims of this aggressive approach toward microtransactions from 2K. And not only that, the sports gaming community are like victims beyond victims. We are like the cream of the crop type of victims in regards to how much we pay for an annual cycle in a video game. And there has to be some awareness. Somebody has to stand on it. Well, that my team stuff in my career is no longer going to be the case. I might not even buy 2K24 this year, to be honest. I've been over for 2K, pay to win tactics for a while. Yeah. One build only for 2K24. I might be an 85 overall by the end of the year, but I spend no money. I think it'd be refreshing. There's some challenges that we got ahead of us. There's some things that I want to know by the end of the year with this test run of no money spent. There's a lot of things that I want to know. And I wrote a bunch of stuff down and we could kind of go over it. Some answers that I should have for you guys by the end of the year. I will be documenting this whole process. Otherwise, it's pointless. So we're going to make sure that we're documenting the whole process. So for folks that want to follow along and see how the process is going, to see if there's even an opportunity for you guys to spend a little less money than you normally spent. The one thing that I mainly want to know about, because I spent this money and I know the end result is that it wasn't a fulfilling experience, right? For me, it wasn't fulfilling. I wasn't happy after I got off the game. I would get off the game, I'd be looking at the clock. Where before, when I didn't spend any money on 2K outside of the unit sale, you couldn't get me off the game. When I wasn't buying boosts, you couldn't get me off the game. Chris Move made a great point that we're always playing at a VC deficit. The game is set up like a casino, set up for you to lose. The house always wins. So you're always going to be at a deficit. The key for 2K is to hook you into the Gatorade boost and the skill boost. And this is not going to be against 2K. I want to make this happen in the world that is 2K right now. The way you guys love 2K, the way I like to love 2K. I want to do this in a world where everybody is attempting to influence you to purchase VC and buy skill boosts. In a world where the player base is going to down you for not getting boosts. I want to do this in this world. I think it's imperative and important that we do it in this world that we're in right now, because it's more than just the challenge of not purchasing boosts. You got to take the L's. You got to take the embarrassment of the L's. You got to take not being up to par with everybody else on the court. It's important for me to do it right now. And I want to share this whole experience with you guys at the end of this thing. Can you have fun doing it? It's a big question I have. Is it possible? There's a lot of you guys. You see, it's important for me as well, because I noticed that I have a problem. When I saw this amount of money, I said, whoa, that's a problem. My biggest argument to folks who perform this type of thing, no money spent, is that it's not going to be fun. So that's my biggest argument. I despise my career. I despise it. So it's even a greater challenge for me. I hate going into my career. I hate playing against AIs. So it's an even greater challenge for me, because I am the epitome of a player who will make his build, drop the $100, and bring him right out to the rec center. Completely an online player. So this is going to be extra challenging for me, but I want to know by the end of this whole process is, can you have fun? So that's going to be a question that's going to be answered. Can someone like me have fun? someone who's so inclined to go online, someone who's so quick to spend that $100. Can I have fun without doing that? That'll help answer the question for a lot of other folks that are new to 2K coming into the franchise. Would they be able to have fun? Is it possible? If you're already a my career head, I appreciate your opinion, but I don't need it. If you're a my career head, you're already like inclined to play offline. I'm someone who's inclined to play online. And I want to know if it's possible for other online players to kind of have the same experience, have an online experience without spending money, but still have fun. I want to know if that's possible. So that's a question that's going to be answered. Like I said earlier, I will show my transaction history at the end of this process of 2K24. Another big concern that folks have is how much time is it going to take to grind out a build and get a build to its max capabilities? How much time? So I'm going to document that process with no money spent. It's important for us. This is important information for us to have. The reason why I'm saying this, and I'm not trying to talk to you, I'm here trying to talk with y'all, but the reason why this is important is because you want to find out if that grind is going to take away from the fun factor. It's important for us because there's long-term effects to this stuff of what's happening right now. There's going to be long-term effects when a company like 2K gets their hands and claws into something like this without giving you guys a fair compromise. There's no compromises. You pay for your build. By the way, we're going to increase that cost. Almost certain that cost is going to be increased for 2K24. You pay for skill boosts, and the game is set up to put you in a VC deficit. Then they add the additional cost of premium rewards to entice you to spend some more money. Then they have 4 different options, 4 different editions of the game that goes from $60 to $150. I'm telling you, other gaming communities are laughing at us. And I didn't take kindly to that. I understand it, but I didn't take kindly that I had such a weak mind, especially when it comes to finances, because there's no other place, no other aspect in my life that I have a weak mind when it comes to finances. But in this aspect, in regards to 2K, I do have a weak mind. And that, like I said, that changes right now. I'm not going back to that. This is never going to happen again. What you see up there, that is, I promise you guys, that is never, ever going to happen again. Never will I spend over $1,000 on a game of 2K. If I ever spend $1,000 on a game like 2K, that $1,000 is going to bring IRL NBA players into my home to run a one-on-one. Is there a possibility of that happening? No. Guarantee you, never is this going to happen again. Another issue that we have, and something that I want to document along the way, because it's one of the arguments that I've had before I came to this conclusion that I'm going to go into NBA 2K24 with no money spent. An issue that I have is that 2K drops patches that change the game. So my argument to other folks who don't spend money on the game was, you spend all that time grinding, but 2K will change the build, change the game on you, and then you don't even know all that time you're grinding. By the time you bring him online, he's not even a viable option. So that's going to be a huge thing that we're going to document along the way for players who don't like to spend money. If you're spending your time, if you're investing your time into the grind, what's that going to feel like? So this is going to all be documented along the way. Videos, live streams, tweets, posts, all this stuff is going to be documented along the way. I'm going to take you on this journey with me. We're going to find out how to get VC without purchasing VC. The best ways, we'll make sure we'll get into the right communities that help us understand the best ways to get VC without purchasing VC. Another big question, like I said, for the folks that think that I will spend money by the end of the year, at the end of the cycle, or whenever I stop playing, whenever that game gets deleted from my system, I'm going to show you guys my transaction history just like I did today. show you guys my transaction histories to find out that I came to $1,190 spent on 2K23, a game I didn't even like. To assure you guys that there's going to be a legitimate process. I will go live and show you guys my transaction history. I will put it in a video showing you guys my transaction history and showing you the difference in money that I spent. I'm doing it for myself, but I think it's important for folks to see this. I think you guys need it. I think a lot of folks need to see something like this happen. And it's not just from anybody. It's the point that it's from me, somebody who's already been conditioned to play online and pay that money. This amount of money proves that I've already been conditioned to play online immediately, buy a build, accept that 2K changes the game in front of you, make another build ASAP just to compete online. Someone who's pretty much addicted to playing the game online. And it seems that it is an addiction because I didn't even enjoy my experience playing 2K23. So this is what let me know it is a real problem and it's out of my hands and it's time to take control back of that problem. A big question is, can you compete online without Boost or Gatorade? This is a question that's going to be answered throughout this journey for 2K24. Will I be able to compete online? A process that's going to be documented with you guys. I will be going live with some other folks. I will have great teammates who will have Boost, but it's a matter of how I'm able to play because I'm competitive, yeah. I'm not extremely competitive, but I'm competitive and I want to win when I get out there. And I'm a player, to give you guys some insight, that when I get out there, I'm paying attention to what my player is doing. Forget about if we're winning the game. I pay attention to each individual play. Am I sluggish? Am I shooting okay? Why did I miss that shot? That's the type of player I am. So we want to know, we want to find out if you're going to be able to compete online without Boost, without Gatorade, and what are the differences? How does that look? For the folks that are competing online, how much better are their animations? How much more consistent are they on their shot opportunities and drives? These are things that need answers. These are things that we're going to find out. If 2K is listening, they probably want to boost my sliders up now. So any of you 2K representatives in here listening, you're probably going to want to boost my sliders up now so that way you don't affect your sales. Because I have a feeling that if the reality comes out, those sales are going to start dropping. So you might want to consider that idea. And I'm not asking anybody to boost up my sliders, but I know 2K slickness. There's times on 2K23 where I felt like 2K was dead messing with my sliders, lowering them. Because you guys don't know, I don't always speak favorably of 2K. Depending on how the gameplay is, yeah. Another question that I really want answered, but I don't think I have the ability to make it happen. Because it'd be so tough and that'll take up my whole life and I'm just not with it. But the idea of, can you grind to legend without spending money on Boost, Gatorade, or any additional money outside of the unit sale? Is it possible? What does grinding to legend look like? Or accomplishing the ultimate goal, what does that look like without purchasing, like without going with in-game purchases? So back to the comments, man. And that's another fact, Big Heck. I was thinking about that as well. Everything changes with this process. Like Heck said, you really got to be sure of the build you pick as well. That crossed my, it's a challenge for me, y'all. Like it's going to be a real challenge for me. Because like I said, I'm inclined to just spend that money. And if I make a mistake, I'll just spend another $100 and go make another build. So making that first build is going to be crucial. I got to make sure I make the right build, something that could sustain. There's a lot to consider, man. All City Inc. said, I spent about 600 this year for sure. And I spent more than 2K on my team on previous years. That's where the real trap is. I'm definitely not thinking of buying a season when I play 3 hours a day. Let's get to the comments. 453 in the chat. Appreciate y'all being here. At the very least, I ask y'all, I'm not asking for you guys to attempt to do what I'm doing, or attempt to do what I'm going to attempt to do for 2K24. But if you could support the idea, it benefits all of us. Supporting the idea is hitting like on the videos, subscribing, following, sharing, because I think there's a process, and I'm going to be sure to document it well. That's what's going to keep me motivated to do it, making sure that I document this whole process well. I'm not looking at each individual day. I'm looking at the whole project and what it's going to look like towards the end of the year. All the questions that need to be answered towards the end of the year. So, your support will be truly appreciated during this time, especially how difficult it's going to be for me. Like I said, this is not just anybody doing it. There's somebody who's already been conditioned to spend that money, already been conditioned to just play online. All of that changes today. We need that 2K, how he said, I spent a total of $3,000 on both systems. Oh my God, scary. I moved to my team last year because I thought it was less predatory, and my team is super predatory. Yeah, from what I understood. I played my team. I was able to get into my team, and I'm going to try to have that same approach for my career. Because when I got on my team, I didn't have no interest of playing online. When I got on although this is not going to be an offline grind, I'm going to have to play online. I enjoy playing online too much. And that's just going to be part of the documenting process. How does my player feel online with no Gatorade, no skill boost? How does my player play online with no Gatorade, no skill boost? Not just one player, not just 1 month or 1 season. How does that feel the entire year? When will I get exhausted? When will I feel enough is enough? All questions that need answers. Claiming 2K on my taxes, Father Time said, we need that 2K18 attitude when we left and went to Fortnite. Something to think about. Just gotta play. If I missed your comments, please copy and paste it. Put it back in the stream. I'm pretty much done with my rant. We could just get with the comments and keep this thing going. Strap Up Hutch said, I spent $635 as a casual. Only had 2 builds. Tried a second and stayed playing with the first build due to the patches. And that's another factor that I add to the equation as well. Towards the end of 2K23, I was playing on my first build. Sad. Wouldn't that money you spent on 2K be considered a legitimate write-off on taxes for you, AC? That to me is irrelevant. I'm not doing this we understand that I'm a content creator. And I still find this to be a huge problem. We get that I'm a content creator. This is still a huge problem. It's unacceptable, even with me being a content creator. So what I'm getting at here is how many of you guys are spending this same amount of money, something close to it, or even more, that aren't content creators, that can't write it off. Even with the idea of writing this stuff off, I still find it unacceptable. The reason being is because I'm a gamer. Been a gamer since a kid, as young as I can remember. $10 we used to spend for a game. And you could shop around multiple games. $20. No in-game purchases. What I'm getting at is that this is headed down a real ugly road. And we're at the pinnacle. We are leading the way toward what gaming is headed to. Other folks in different gaming environments, gaming genres, they're laughing at us. Sports gamers are dummies. In quotes. Sports gamers are idiots. And if your first thought was to take offense to that, and I see a lot of folks saying here, well, I only spent $300. Other gamers see $300 for one game as insanely high. That's why they're laughing at us. That's exactly why they're laughing at us. Because there's other games that are extremely successful that developers put a ton of effort into creating that don't even charge you anything more than the unit sale price. Take this stuff into consideration, man. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Yeah. And I'm not trying to influence y'all. I'm dead not trying to influence y'all. I'm just saying, watch this journey. Towards the end of the journey, even if you don't click on any video throughout this journey, come back at the end of it. Just so you could kind of get the full story. Come back at the end. OG Proficial 2K23 was stressing me out IRL, so I uninstalled. I did the same exact thing. During gameplay, I was so stressed out, I said, that's it. I don't like getting angry, man. I don't like being angry, especially for something that I'm paying so much money for. So I said, that's it. It's got to come up off my system. This joint got to come up off because I can't control myself. Ironically, during this time where I was debating on deleting it, I was actually considering making another build. That's how addicted we are to this joint. I will pride myself in the idea that I hadn't spent. The last time I made a transaction for 2K was April 30th. So I pride myself in that I try to get control of this. And while I was going through my transactions as well, I saw all these other games that I was attempting to try out to get me off of this 2K thing. You know, the first real way to find out is that there's a problem is to acknowledge it. And this is a problem. $1,200 in one annual cycle is a problem. Unacceptable. All City 2K and Madden is the best games. They're not. That's a lie. Expand your mind. There's another thing. There's another thing as well. And this I got from the other gamers that are talking about how crazy 2K is and how crazy the player base is. You got to explore, yeah? We get put in the sports gaming bubble, and for those that are closest to me, understand that I've been doing my best to explore for a couple years now, trying out different games. There's other games out there, yeah? There's other games that you could really find enjoyment in that will immerse you, that will completely immerse you, and you won't have to spend $1 outside of the unit sale. Mr. Puerto Rican, what's good? $5 super chat. So if I spent, hold on. What did he say? So if you spent $500 times the 11 million units 2K23 reportedly sold, is 5.5 billion. Just being nice on the numbers. Angry Joe went off. You saw the video, WTF boy. Angry Joe went off. Large content creator. They're looking at us and feeling bad for us. B, can you imagine that? While you guys in your 2K world, in your sports gaming world, as am I, in this same world, thinking that we're on top and we're having the ultimate experience, they laughing at you. They laughing at us. What's bad about it is that we don't even realizing we're helping to pave the way for other companies and other genres of gaming to do the exact same thing. All we need is a consideration when you're making that microtransaction. I was too quick to pull the trigger last year. I was too quick. Another $100, so what? Within the first month, it wasn't even a month up yet, I had close to $500 spent. Within the first month. Unacceptable. No Man's Sky gets content. Shout out to Slits. No Man's Sky is dope. I love No Man's Sky. I got it downloaded right now. I'm trying not to get back on it because that's immersive. It's super dope. Osmond Gold legit called us idiots. Dead ass. And he's calling us idiots from the pure perspective of he's not a sports gamer. He doesn't play sports games. But he's an ultimate gamer. And he's looking at us like, who in their right mind spends that type of money? That's how they're looking at us, B. Who in there? We're not in our right minds is what I'm trying to get y'all to see. It's not legitimate. Don't get me wrong. If you're enjoying yourself, so be it. I wouldn't even attempt to put a price or value on your entertainment. But if you were upset with your experience on 2K23 and you spent this type of money or something even close to it, there's a problem, yeah? That is an official, legitimate problem. Then the first pass hits, and instantly everyone in their pockets buying VC again. Facts. Everyone has their vices, bro. Like I said, people smoke cigarettes, smoke weed, drink beer, buy liquor, go to clubs. Ain't nobody so ain't nobody judging me. Facts. To each their own. This is facts. To each their own. To me, $1,200 on a game that I didn't even enjoy, it is absolutely, completely unacceptable, and I got to hold myself accountable for that. And this is the way in which I'm choosing to hold myself accountable for that. No money spent for 2K24. Rec needs to be at a higher standard. Grades should be impacted more for turnovers. They need to weed out the trolls and crybabies. Quitting needs to be punished. Marcus House, I just logged into my account and I spent $409. I had no idea I was this crazy. So you know what was the indicator for me that we just didn't know how much we were spending is how popular the video and image that I posted of how much our bills cost spread throughout the 2K community, even spreading right now to this day. You made the build and you pay for the build. You didn't know that you paid that much. 473,000 VC to make my build. So that was when I realized initially, like, yo, we're just completely unaware. We're completely consumed and immersed in the sports gaming world that we're not even paying attention to how crazy these costs are. So as much time and effort as I spent making content, is as much time and effort for 2K is as much time and effort that I'm going to put for this other side of 2K. Can you have fun without spending money on Gatorade and Boost? Is there truly a pay-to-win mechanic? Are you at a complete deficit? Are you going to put your team at a complete disadvantage if you don't have Gatorade or Boost? Questions that need answers. Appreciate you, Flex. Cool. He said, this is therapy for me. 2K addiction. Thanks for my 2K addiction. You spending this kind of money is different because you're a content creator. We talked about that. Me spending this type of money is different, like the homie said, because I'm a content creator and I still find it completely unacceptable. Now, to take this a step further, people are spending this type of money and they're not content creators. Now, what do we talk about? That's why I'm doing this process. This doesn't benefit me. It benefits me from this in the sense that I no longer have to be addicted and spend this type of money ever again. But as far as content creation goes, it'll be more ideal for me to get new builds out there and test this and test that as a content creator. And I'm going against that grain and I'm saying, nah, it's not going down, Kochi. It's not happening, man. I don't like nobody digging in my pockets, man. And then I don't even realize it too. They finesse the hell out of me. Hell nah. Hell to the nah. I don't even want to talk about how much money I spent on the previous NBA. As we all, I understand it's embarrassing, but it's some that needed to be, like, we need to see the dollar figure. That's why this is important to me, because we had to see it. Just like we didn't see how much we were spending for bills until I put that joint out there. We need to see the dollar figure. It's important for you to see the dollar figure. Come up off that addiction, B. Come up off of that. If you need to pay $1,000 to enjoy a video game, then something's wrong with that whole process. That's not the root of gaming, man. I'm the epitome of what a gamer is from young. Epitome. And I watched this transition of spending no money for complete annual cycles of 2K to now spending over $1,000. Hell to the nah. Nobody sponsoring no bills for me. It's no going down, man. It counts. The whole idea behind this is that we need questions answered. I need to put myself in the shoes of some of these offline my career heads. And I'm not gonna, trust me, I know one thing about myself. I'm not gonna be able to sustain completely off of the offline experience. I'm gonna have to go online. I like online too much. But some of the questions that need to be answered is, can you, your player, who you haven't spent money on, compete online? So I'm going to be playing it from a different perspective. And trust me, I'm trying to convince myself of this as I'm telling you guys that City, you got to play it from a different perspective, bro. Just like now when I get on the game, normally I'm looking at animations and I'm looking at badges, how they function and where this animation took off from and how could you use that animation. I play it from a different perspective. I'm going to have to change all of that up for 2K24 and play it from the perspective of no money spent. And what does that look like for an online player? Someone like me who's more inclined to get online ASAP as soon as possible. I'm with you. I spent $600 on 2K23. iRose Films. Salute. I'm done with 100K. Luhu, baby. Damn, just so I dropped 380 on this game. Reggie Candler. It helps. Don't it help? Am I tripping? Or does it help when you finally realize, like, oh, crap, I spent that. And the homie's saying 380. The good majority of the players spend about $300 at least. Good majority. Well, let's say 200 at least. 200 to be fair. Crazy thing is, the game would be a lot more fun if we didn't base our builds based on how other exploits the game. I don't buy that. I don't. It's not the player base. It's 2K. It's not the player base who has exploits in the game. We just have a controller in our hand. The game has become so expensive that, of course, they're going to find easier ways to get dubs and find enjoyment. That's the game we have in front of us. I don't blame the player base, not one bit. All we have is a controller. The developers are responsible for coding. That's their duty. If within the coding there's an exploit build, their duty. The community is surely going to find that out because we are paying ridiculous amounts of money for builds. You want to get the best bang for your buck, make this type of build. You want to get the most out of your build, or the most out of the 2K experience, make this type of build to dominate on offense or dominate on defense. We need to encourage as many people as possible to go no money spent, or it's just going to get worse. And I think this is the beauty of the internet, is that anything you post, it just never dies. So although I would love as much support and, content creators to jump on this bandwagon and help lead the way in making this thing happen, the way in which I intend to document this stuff is going to stand the test of time. And hopefully, if it doesn't happen this year, before 2K, because I consider them completely out of hand already. But before it gets to a point, we've already shown, or I've already personally count myself as addicted to 2K, spending this type of money without even enjoying the game. So I count that as an addiction, which is going to change right now. If we could get folks to just curb or be cautious, that's the W for us this year. Just be cautious, man. You wait for the patch to drop before you pull the trigger. Folks were telling me, nah, City, just wait. Wait until you get Gym Rat on your first build. Get out of here. I'm making the build now. If I want to make another build, I'll make another build after. And I regretted it. But that's how quick I was to just pull that trigger. Raphael Williams. If you content creators don't spend no money, we're going to be spanking y'all. And I'm okay with that. That's what I was talking about. Who's that? Us versus them. It's facts. This is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. This is why it's more difficult, because I'll have folks coming into the stream lined up to play against me. And, the competitive ego side of me is like, oh, hell nah. He is not dropping me off. This is the challenge for me. That's why this process is going to be even more challenging for me, because I'm an online player. And I got to deal with the homies saying we finna drop you off. But it's okay, because I'm going to reach out to our team. Keep in mind, y'all, there's a ton of people who represent All City. Ton of great players who represent All City. So I'm going to have a meeting with them today so that they could help assure me that they'll be able to represent our name and brand really well from the competitive side. So when someone comes to drop me off, trying to take advantage that I don't have Gatorade or Boost, you're going to have to meet up with the GOATs. So I'm going to reach out to them today and see if we can make sure that happens, because I don't want everybody on our team following along with this process. If they do, they do, so be it. But I want folks out there to represent what we really about. So you could drop me off, but you're going to have to deal with other folks after I get dropped off. J-Eazy in the building. Damn, I just missed him. Where you go? J-Eazy. If you drop me off this year, good for you, because I'm not buying booze. So good for you. There you go. J-Eazy said it. That's how I kind of feel. It's going to be tough, though. It's tough. I tell you, I won't feel as bad about getting dropped off. I tell you that much. And I'm not one that'll make excuses. You drop me off, you drop me off. But I just call the other homies real quick and see if it was your boost, Gatorade that dropped me off, or your skill that dropped me off. They'll be able to test that out. I probably spend more money on Gatorade than all of my bills combined. Now tell me that's not finessing at its finest. Go check. Jim Stars in the building. What up, Agent Q? Other games with passes allow you to earn the currency to buy the next season. If 2K doesn't give the option to do so, it's dead. 2K has already shown us that you're not going to have the option to do that. You're going to have to pay for these seasons through a card. It's not going to be through VC that you could purchase a season. And to add insult to injury, you're only getting up to 60,000 VC. If I'm not mistaken, you have 15K. Yeah. So you could earn up to 45K with the Pro Pass, and you could earn an instant additional 15K if you get the Hall of Fame Pass, but you're paying $20. Mr. Washington, what up? Be like a 2K mob boss. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Power DF in the building. So will this mean you won't be buying any of the season passes? That's absolute fact. I will not be buying any season passes. I could live vicariously through our good community that we have in Discord, and we're closely tied to a lot of members who will be purchasing those passes. And like Don's buying every single pass day one, so he's gonna be able to tell me everything. Appreciate you, OG Circle Game. But yeah, I'm dead serious, yeah. And to assure you guys, for those folks who think this may be cap or I'm attempting to finesse, I assure you guys, clip this if you like. At the end of the year, just like I showed you guys my microtransactions, my transaction history for PlayStation Today, at the end of the year, I will show you guys my transaction history as well. I'm not doing this for the simple fact of not buying boosts. I have a lot of questions that I want answered, and this process has to be done. I went over these questions that I had. Things like, can you have fun without buying boosts, without buying Gatorade, without upgrading your build instantly? Is it possible to have fun? The reason why I thought about this is because when I got onto my team 2 years ago, I went and just played my team for the sake of it because I didn't like 2K21. And I actually enjoyed my team, but I wasn't an online competitor. So I didn't get brought down the rabbit hole into spending money. I wasn't an online. I just enjoyed the offline experience. Although I know in my career, I am going to have to play online, but that's going to help me answer questions like, can you even compete online without Gatorade or Boost? Do you have to consistently play at a VC deficit? Is it possible to play and just earn VC instead of consistently giving VC to 2K. So there's a lot of questions that I want answered, and I'm going to document the whole process and answer these things weekly, monthly, guiding you guys along the journey of a no money spent playthrough. It's imperative right now. 2K is out of hand. In my opinion, 2K is out of hand. In the opinion of other gamers like Osmond Gold, large YouTube creator who plays other games, doesn't play no sports games, Angry Joe, ranting about why do sports gamers even allow this to happen? I understand your perspective and morals, but will you continue to do this at the cost of reaching 100K? I am. I didn't even factor this in, inner city gaming. You see, with me and this, I'm not acting righteous. But I believe this daily. I pay attention to the signs. This is God's hands. This is not my hands. And I'm not trying to over dramatize this thing. I didn't even consider the idea of how this is going to affect the 100K run. But I tell you, considering that I jumped all in before even thinking about the 100K, it shows me that God is at work. So the way I see things, I could almost guarantee that I'm probably going to surpass that expectation. God works crazy, and I always put him first. See, when I'm thinking about this process, I'm thinking about the questions that need answering for the future. So let's say, for instance, I don't hit that 100K this year. I know how impactful this type of information is going to be for the 2K community down the line. So whether the impact serves its purpose this year or next year or the year after, it's going to hit the fan. Whether y'all want to believe it or not, it's going to hit the fan. Because 2K is going to continue to try to get in your pockets. So at some point, it's going to hit the fan. And that's when this process, this year-long process, is going to come up and shine. He did that 2 years ago. And that was the price 2 years ago. Then you're going to have somebody else come up. What is it now? We're gonna have an impact with this process. I appreciate that, Dame. I filled up all my bill slots every year. Yeah, same here. I filled up all my bill spots, Adam. No, I'm not Indian. I'm Puerto Rican. Paying wouldn't be a problem if we would keep the battle pass stuff in 2K24, 25, 26, 27, but it will never happen. All City, I advise you make an offline build that can only dribble and shoot and grind that VC. Interesting. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am going to need your feedback for the folks that are I don't want to only grind offline. So I understand that the offline experience is a boring experience for viewership, and we're still going to mainly base our content around news, updates, and things that can help make you better on 2K. I still have access to the entire community, and I will still be, whatever information I get is still or deliver is going to be helpful, whether it's news or whether it's doing something good on 2K. I just feel like taking on this journey is going to be something that's going to serve the community well in the long run. And it helps to put 2K on their toes. And I don't discredit the idea that we're minuscule in compared. Like, I can't reach 2K, but I can reach the consumers. I know I can't reach 2K, but I can reach y'all. And I understand as well that we're such a small portion of what the actual 2K community is. Even every single viewer on YouTube and Twitch combined make up a tiny portion of what the actual 2K community is. But it has to start somewhere. It has to start somewhere. I'll be tuning in, learning. Appreciate that, Wayne. Hit it where it hurts, the pockets, then change will happen. I fill up my build spots twice, as we all. I've deleted builds. Man said, "How are you so calm?" He asked the dumbest questions. How are you so calm? Somebody asked, "How are you so calm?" Yeah, it's boring, but you also don't want to create a build that will be patched. So I want to make a build that isn't effective, which is why you wait till the community finds out what's best. IGB TV, I spent $1,366. I'm definitely not paying that much this year. Thanks for keeping it a buck. How much y'all spent? Put it in the chat. How much you spent on 2K23? And is it your intention to continue spending? There's dialogue, y'all. There's dialogue. Whether you spent a lot or you still... I was just saying last week, I know I'm going to spend money on 2K24. I was just saying that last week. The talk, I said, if the game is good, I know what 2K's finna do to me. If the game is not good, I knew where I was going to stand. It wasn't going to be that much money. Like, I knew I wasn't even going to spend this if the game was not good. Because we got indicators now to pay attention to. Like, when they drop that first patch, everybody's going to be looking for gameplay. What changes were made? What did they patch? Because of our experience on 2K23, we were anxious. What did they change now? Boogie said, I'm not doing it again. Wilder said 3,649 on the base game. I spent $740. John Harvey, Reggie Noble, 170. Andre Hill, 400. Shoe Game, 400. The God Capo, 1,000 plus. Anybody want to do the math and add that all up? Tell me if the community don't got no problem over here. Tell me why other gamers playing these weird games that a lot of sports gamers will consider just weird. Tell me why they only spending the unit price. And these games are like AAA titles, amazing games. Dirty Jers, 209.91. And I still feel like... Where the blame? 2K only doing what they see metrics on. They see how everyone has all slots full. They are just opportunities. And that's facts. Like I said in a video, I get it, 2K. I am not knocking you for being a great business or great at business. I don't knock 2K for being great at business. But it's my duty to be responsible for myself as a consumer. Like I said, the fact for me is I'm not doing this for the sake of doing it. I'm doing it because I didn't enjoy myself on 2K23. It was exhausting to play the game. I would look at my clock when I log in. An hour passed felt like 8 hours had passed. It was boring. There were times that it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm yawning. How many times has folk come into the Discord saying, yo, City, is too early for that, bro? Yawning. Playing 2K. And you telling me I deleted 2K? Not only did I delete 2K recently, I also took a stint and created a whole new channel. Playing Zelda. Nothing to do with 2K. That was this year in 2K23 and I still spent $1,200. Hell to the nah. Negative, Kochi. There's no going down again, man. That means that there's a problem. And I'm not saying 2K has the problem. I'm saying I have the problem. Me. I'm a problem to myself. So that got to change. There's no other aspect in my life that I allow something like this to happen for the sake of entertainment, let alone 2K23 was not entertaining to me. So we're taking the stand. You guys don't have to take this stand with me. I know it's a difficult stand to take, but your support, your appreciation for the impact that this is going to have on the 2K community in the long run, the idea of helping to keep 2K on their toes, the impact that I have on 2K in the long run, just to have these type of numbers out there for someone else who may be hella innovative in how they create content that could use what I delivered this year. Maybe 2 or 3 years down the line, they could use this analytical data, just like 2K did with you guys when they gave you free seasons, to use the analytical data so they could start charging you for seasons. Just like I said 2 years ago in a video, and I posted it on Twitter, that 2K is definitely going to turn seasons into a microtransaction. This stuff is necessary. If we don't start getting the numbers now and gathering that analytical data, 2K is going to have a field day, and it's going to be too late before we even step up and notice anything. This was enough for me to step up and notice everything. I'm watching my pocket this time, Capo said. Not gonna lie, I started playing Red Dead Redemption 2. I might get back on that as well, Hoax. Because I do want to get back. Red Dead Redemption was one of those games, Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, because I've been gaming so many years, it's hard for me to like be shocked by what I see. I see a lot of games with great graphics and no substance. Developers fail to add that substance in there. And I never fall for graphics. Like, it needs to have substance and graphics. But Red Dead Redemption 2 was one of those games that dead seriously dropped my jaw. Pause. I put that joint on and I was like, what? And I was hooked, completely immersed into Red Dead Redemption 2. So there's other games out there, man. You just got to explore, expand your mind, yeah? Man, got so tired at 23, I hop on 22. I get it. Not too late to get into Baldur's Gate 3. That's not the first time I've heard about that. I gotta check it out. Ghost of Tsushima. Yep, Ghost of Tsushima was amazing. I did my second playthrough this year as well. I'm telling you, I tried hard to get off 2K this year and still spent $1,200. I'm on Red Dead. I'm on RDR2 right now watching this. Salute to you, Grim Live. Yeah, I'm going to get back on it. Right now, I'm trying, what's that Tokyo some? I'm trying that Tokyo joint. I forgot the name. Ghost something. I think Ghostwire or something like that. Remnant 2 is incredible. All right. Baldur's Gate 3 hard. All right. I was living in Red Dead 2 for a long time. Same year. I would spend the day fishing, bro. That's how zoned out I was in Red Dead Redemption 2. Ghostwire Tokyo. There we go. Yep. Ghostwire Tokyo. I'm trying that out. It's pretty dope. Spider-Man is out soon as well. That's how much an addicting game it is. Warzone is free and it's one of the funnest games ever. I got Warzone downloaded and we have been playing it. I just need to grind it. $1,200 is wild, Dame. You ain't lying. $1,200 is wild, and I think it's important that we are transparent with ourselves about that. Like, I had to come to that realization, like, whoa, this is a problem. It started with me listening to Osmond Gold, how he felt about sports gamers and how we're just in our own little bubble getting abused by developers and we don't even know it. Because other games and other niches, they just don't spend even close to the amount of money that we spend in sports gaming. So much so that he calls sports gamers idiots for not even paying attention to the increase in cost and taking a stand on it. Then I saw the rant from Angry Joe, and he went crazy on 2K. And then I decided to do my transaction history and found out that I spent $1,200. When I look back, I said I didn't even enjoy 2K23. Everybody that plays with me could attest to that idea that I didn't enjoy it. There were moments of enjoyment, but nothing close to what I experienced. Nothing even, if I was to put a percentage on it, it would be like 0.1% compared to years past of 2K and the amount of enjoyment that I had on years past that you couldn't get me off the game and I didn't have to spend $1 outside of the unit sale. Used to play that game day in, day out, every day. Legend runs. Fun. Competitive. You get frustrated, but it wasn't against 2K and its gameplay mechanics. It was just the competition in front of you, and you say, well, I got to get better. So that leads to practice sessions. Fun. MLB, I can sell cars and flip cars for in-game currency. Never spent money. Nice. Yeah, Angry Joe went crazy. Difference is Call of Duty not forcing you to pay another extra 50 just to be competitive. That was what I mentioned in one of the videos as well. I say, you know, you could actually purchase a season from Call of Duty and get a gun that will allow you to compete. You could purchase a pack from Call of Duty with the attachments already on that allows you to compete. Doesn't give you an advantage, but just allows you to compete. And it's free to play. These were factors that I said, I just got to do this. These were some of the factors that I was considering that said, this needs, not only it needs to be done, I got to do it. I got to do it for myself. I got to do it for the impact it's going to have on the community as well. I got to do it for the analytical data so we can make good references on content going forward. We all know what it is, but until you see the number, that's when it's like, whoa, I'm caught up in this too. We know what it is already. You knew you were spending 500,000 VC on a build. You just didn't want to accept it until someone like me puts the number in your face. 473,000 for a build. What? Yeah, you already spent that, Brody. You didn't know that. You already spent that on 2 builds. A million VC for 2 builds. Jethawk for 199 super chat said, use $412.82. Damn, not working a better job, but damn. So I think it's important that we see this number. This is why I think it's important that we document this process and then share that analytical data with everybody so that we could kind of proceed with caution going forward. Yeah, 2K so lost in the psychological games, microtransactions, they forgot you can make a game fun and still make money. Thank you. Yeah. But like, what are these other AAA titles doing? They're making the game fun and they can still make money. Even some of the most challenging games like Elden Ring, super fun. I only spent 160, only 2 bills. Salute to you, Ariel. We could have bought 2K stock. Facts. Smarter moves that we can do going forward. Take that money, that's 1,200, and put it in 2K stock. Let 2K make money for you. Do you think this is the most you spent on? Definitely not the most. Definitely not the most. I feel like that's how 2K gets you. You make a build after the build thinking it will be fun, but really the gameplay is the problem. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Is like, this is when I realized that it's a problem, because when I look back on my experience on 2K23, I said, that was not fun. I was not having a fun experience. I got off moody. I got off the game feeling moody. I didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel like I want to get back on tomorrow like I did in previous years, where it was just like, I can't wait to get back on tomorrow. Damn, at least 1,200 from all the content creators. Damn, 2K banking, yep. We stopped getting on the behind, getting more ways to charge. Yeah, then knowing that you guys are going to spend more money this year. 2K is gonna bank off of seasons. Remember that number, y'all. Don't forget this number. If anything you take away from this stream, the top Take Two CEOs made 70 million, upwards of 70 million off of your microtransactions. And that was a $40 million increase to that bonus from 22 to 23. 22, they made 30 million. 23, they made 70 million, above 70 million. Now keep this number in mind, because I'm sure Herb Scribner, the writer for the Washington Post, is going to share that information when he finds out how much they made for 2K24. I predict somewhere closer to the 150 million mark. I could see it being 120, 125. A bonus that these two guys get because of your microtransactions is part of their contract. That contract is in place until 2029. $40 million increase. The real Lil T, appreciate you. You guys need to keep these numbers in mind, y'all. They're getting crazy money. We can't imagine the type of money that they get. We can't. And you know, I'm not saying limit your money because they're getting this type of money. What I'm saying here is when I consider the idea that I didn't enjoy my experience playing 2K23, but yeah, I still paid $1,200, it's a problem. And I am inclined, because I love the 2K franchise, I am inclined to enjoy my time playing 2K like I have in many years past. If I'm not enjoying my time, there's something wrong. And I'm still spending money, there's something really wrong. Like I said, that's all changing. Yep, I'm good on spending break with 2K. Making money off our emotions sounds like pimping to me. We all have a choice, but what I want to make you guys aware of is that, like I said, other gaming communities, they know we in a bubble. How many of you guys play different games? The good majority of sports gamers, a good majority of them, and I know there's a lot of us that do play different games, salute to y'all, but the good majority of sports gamers play sports gaming in their own little bubble of a world. We don't explore to find if we could find enjoyment. I spent years in that 2K bubble. I spent years in the Call of Duty bubble. But we don't even explore any other options. So we don't know that these guys, we think in gaming, everybody's paying this type of money. Negative, Kochi. They looking at us crazy. All you got to do is check out the video from Osmond Gold. He was in utter shock. Angry Joe was in utter shock that there was $150. They went crazy when they saw the $100 version. They were already ranting, going, what? Then they so happened to click the $150 version. Forget about it. They went insane. How dare these companies? And the reason why it's concerning to them is because if the sports gaming world allows this to continue to happen, it's going to trickle down to their world. And they know this. While they're chilling, paying their $60, a lot of games are $40, they're chilling, finding great fun and great enjoyment in their gaming life. Because of us sports gamers allowing this to happen, they know there's going to be a trickle down effect. Mortal Kombat 1 looks dope. I ain't gonna front. When does Live come out? I don't think Live is coming back out. Dudes dropped 70 on Madden to play for 2 weeks. Facts. We know that. I gotta watch that video, man. Maybe 2K is finally gonna get exposed proper. I hope so. Yeah, go check it out. Angry Joe or Osmond Gold. Yeah, MK is looking fire. I ain't gonna front. That joint look dope. I'm not a fighter game anymore. Like, I used to be a fighter gamer. I used to love Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and my favorite was Tekken. But I tried a couple years ago to get back on. I said it's just not the same to me. Even though Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat look dope. I might give it another shot. Who knows? Favorite was Fight Night, though. Fight Night by far. Other gaming communities don't consider sport gamers as real gamers, and this facts. We need to know this, yeah? I wouldn't go so far. But when you do get into other gaming, you're like, wow, it's a whole different world. It is a whole different world. I wish more sports gamers explored alternative gaming because you can find enjoyment. You dead seriously can find enjoyment. These developers will test your smarts. And I like having my smarts tested. Unscripted, if there ever was a time for Live to get their players back, it's now. Well, to help give you guys some insight, for those that are new or don't know about this, this was reported by Brian Mazik, a writer for Forbes. He's a sports gaming writer. and he reported through his connections that NBA Live was shut down. The free-to-play version that was supposed to be delivered to the masses was shut down by the NBA on behalf of 2K. The NBA basically said to NBA Live, you cannot release a free-to-play game because it will affect the sales for 2K. It was shortly after that that the complete team that had developed the game that was damn near ready to be released got disbanded. And we haven't heard from NBA Live ever since. So for those who didn't know that, now you got the information and you get to see how powerful 2K is. And maybe that'll help give you some insight as to where we're headed. This is why this type of thing is imperative, yeah? It's crucial that we get this data. I'm dead serious, y'all. I'm dead serious. There is a way, and that's exactly what happened. Yep. I'm from 89. I have never paid for VC because in my time, we never had to. The max I build. So I understand the folks. I understand the folks that don't buy VC. And this is why this process is going to be more of a challenge for me, because I am inclined to buy VC. I am inclined to immediately go online. I'm a player who has already been conditioned by the 2K way. So this is going to be extra challenging for me to take on. I got to avoid and disregard all that conditioning, the convenience of just getting right online. In my heart of hearts, I know it's completely wrong to spend $1,200 on a video game for one annual cycle when other gamers are getting way better games and only spending $60 for 3 years worth of content, maybe even longer. So in my heart of hearts, I know it's wrong, and that's what we're going to stick with. Hopefully this journey and experience proves to be fruitful. Hopefully it proves to be a good experience, so that way I can completely change my ways toward 2K. But transparency is the only way that this process can succeed. So I have to be completely transparent while answering questions for the community along the way. Questions like, can you have fun? Can you compete without boosts or Gatorade? What's your shooting percentage going to look like? How successful are your drives going to be with no boost or Gatorade? These are things that need answered. There's not going to be an offline grind. I know offline is boring. It's boring for me. That's the most challenging part. I hate playing my career. I want to go online ASAP. Just got to look at it different. Imagine Rebirth being in the Hall of Fame pass next. I could see it. I'm in the community, but love y'all, but I don't F with 2K. There you go. Pro play better be good. Boost always better. NBA Live, rest in peace. Now 2K have no threat. That's crazy. Yeah. I'm surprised you guys, I mentioned it quite a few times this year. You guys probably just weren't in the stream at that time. Just don't buy seasons, don't buy boosts. I'm not buying anything. What we want to know is can you just pay for the unit sale price and still have fun? Can you just pay someone like me, not someone like y'all, not for them. I'm talking about my career heads, not someone who's already inclined to not buy boosts, not someone who's already inclined to just play offline and my career head. Someone like me who's already inclined, so conditioned to play online, so much so that I immediately spend that $100 for the convenience of getting me online ASAP to compete. Can someone like me make a transition toward not spending money? That's, I think, a big question that the 2K community needs answers. Stretch Pig, the NBA, NBA 2K are in bed together. So the only way to change the way the game is presented to us is by buying less and hurting 2K's bottom line. That's the bottom line. Brutal Sim is going to play the entire year without any boost? Nice. Nice. I got to holler at Brute. We need more of that. We need more of that. Yes. So I'm surely gonna get up with Brute and see what his process is looking like. Them L's are gonna hurt, and this is facts, Q boss. Them L's are gonna hurt. The crap talking is gonna hurt, but this is bigger than that. This is bigger than my ego or my competitive side. I know what I'm getting into. I'll just be sure to have another controller at hand when I toss the other one out the window. But yeah, I know what I'm getting into. I know what it is. It's gonna hurt. But like I said earlier, I'm gonna be playing the game from a whole different perspective. When that man drops me off, I'm gonna be looking at, did I get dropped off based off his skill, or was it because I had no skill boost or Gatorade boost? Questions that need answers. I'm gonna constantly have you guys in mind, constantly have the future of 2K in mind when I'm going through this process and documenting it. Going on the journey using $70 to $100 on 24. That's it. Salute to Jet Hog, another man who's taking on this challenge. Think the Brutal City podcast is coming back? Who knows? Who knows? Me and Brute are both content creators that we're like, whatever the day brings us, we take. So if the Brutal City podcast, if the community calls for us to make that happen again, I'm sure we will make that happen. The fact is, we're not trying to give those lame CEOs another $100 million bonus. I don't knock the way a man gets his bag. I'm not knocking him, but just as he's responsible for his business, 2K, I'm responsible for my home and my business and how I spend my money. So I don't hate on him. That's the nature of business. But somebody got to take a stand, and I'm taking a stand for my pockets. Your challenge video going crazy on Twitter. Really? It's going crazy on Twitter. Are we talking about the video I posted earlier? If you guys don't know, I showcased how much money, the grand total, but I also have my PlayStation transaction history scrolling through it on the bottom for folks who thought that it may have been capped. So the first thing I did this morning is I got up, and I knew it had to be done. I knew the feelings that I had yesterday. I had to get it done. When I saw the homie Osmond Gold call us idiots, I said, oh, hell nah. When I saw that he was saying that we live in a bubble, the sports gaming bubble, I said, hell nah, because I'm trying to explore other games. Everything he was speaking was facts. But I said, somebody who's at least a little bit on the inside has to kind of make something happen. It has to be dramatic, but not only dramatic, it has to have answers towards the end of the process. Answers that, like, does 2K have pay to win mechanics? Can I revert back to the way I used to play 2K without spending money on boosts and Gatorade? Is it possible to go back to those fun times when I used to have the most fun? So some of these things, during this process, a lot of these questions are going to be answered. And like I said earlier, it may not impact the community this year, but to me, I'm learning that the community is blinded. We are so immersed in the 2K concept that we're not able to see that we spend this type of money, just like I was unable to see that I spent this type of money. We're not able to see that our bills cost close to 500,000 VC, which is more money than you spend for $100 pack of VC. 450,000 you get for $100 pack. If your bill costs 473,000, like my bill costs 473,000, you're paying over $100 for your bill. It doesn't register. It doesn't lock into us, because I made that diagram of how much my bill costs way later. Folks had already made bills, but it didn't register so they saw the number in their grill. Just like today, now you see the number in your grill. And it's like, oh, hell nah. So now everybody's checking their transaction history. Oh, hell nah. Folks are upset they spent $400. Hell nah, that's not going down. So when we see it, then now we could kind of understand. It's like, oh, hold on a second. I got finessed like hell in 2K20. They dropped this patch and ruined this build, and I spent this much money? Oh, hell nah. And 2K doubled down and said they're going to offer the option to pay for premium rewards, which you know eventually, like Chris Moo said, those rewards, the best rewards, are going to be locked behind the paywall. And they were able to find that out, you guinea pigs. They were able to find that out for the 2-3 years that they offer you guys free seasons. Do you know that at the end of the Courtside reports, they had a survey that gathered analytical data on what you felt about seasons and what were the best rewards, and they used that analytical data to roll out these paid seasons? Do you guys not see this stuff? This is what was happening. We are game testers on 2K. When we're spending $1,200 on a game, which should never, ever, ever happen. But if we are, we should be playing completely finished products, not game testing for 2K's next iteration to charge us even more. Impossible. Keep going and you can make a change. A movement starts with one and spreads to many. Salute to you. Appreciate you saying that. Salute to everybody in the stream. If I missed your comment, please copy and repost it. We could just vibe and chill out. I'm with whatever. I'm with whatever. It's crazy because I never fully max out my build because upgrades cost so much. I haven't maxed out my build in years. How about for the folks, mom and dads? I want to know the experience from mom and dads who have their kids asking them for VC, money for VC, have their kids asking them, Dad, I need to upgrade this build. How about ya? I would love to hear from ya. My son always asks me this. My daughter always asks me for VC for this. I'm curious. People out here gonna get their car repossessed because of 2K. It's facts though. Oh man, did I make coffee? I could have sworn I made coffee before I started. I might have not made it. Deshaun McLean, if we're seeing that 2K are hustling the ish out of us, why do we keep going back to it? Because we're in a bubble? It's like because we don't have folks bringing awareness. It's processes like this that help us step outside of this bubble. Like I mentioned earlier, the sports gamers don't even realize that we're leading the way for other companies. We're like at the very top of a player base who gets finessed by developers. So we're at the very top. Other gamers don't experience this. And they look at us like we crazy and they're disappointed in us because we are not putting a stop to it. We have nothing to stand on, nothing to say about the process of consistently getting us to spend more money each and every year. But they're upset because they know there's going to be a trickle-down effect. If I'm not mistaken, it was 2K that paved the way to increase the cost per unit sale up to $70. It was $59.99. 2K is the one who paved the way to get it to $69.99. That's the start of it, y'all. This to help you understand that we are at the pinnacle. We are at the top, leading the way for all video games to get more expensive, all developers to increase those costs. It's really about the investor. Can you make a return? 2K, it's easy for them to make a return and keep their investors happy. Other gaming companies, not so much. So if you can't prove that you can make this amount of money, an investor is going to be less inclined to invest in your project. This hurts us in so many different ways. We don't get to experience new type of games. There's going to be set developers making set games. Imagine every developer corners the market the way 2K cornered the basketball gaming market. What does that mean for gaming? There's not going to be no innovations. It's going to be one company leading the way. That's it. We're not built on that. Gamers always had multiple choices. In any genre, any type of game that you wanted to choose, there was always multiple choices. Earl Cash said basic economics. Saying, bro, never maxed out a bill. Ronnie sitting back laughing, counting his millions. GG Sean, it is what it is. And like I said, I don't knock the homie for being great at business. I don't knock him. I don't attempt to get mad at Ronnie 2K because he make a lot of money or these folks make a lot of money. Salute to them for being great businessmen, but you're not going to no longer do it at my expense is what I'm saying. Remember when games used to be $50? When I ask you this as a gamer and a content creator, are you going to get 2K24 knowing what you know now? Deshaun, that's what I'm saying here. This whole live stream has been... Deshaun McLean, I appreciate your comment, but this whole live stream is about me playing NBA 2K24 for its entire annual cycle and only spending the $70 to get in the game. No microtransactions at all from me. That's what this whole live stream is about right now. Not one, y'all. Not one microtransaction. And at the end of the year, we're going to have a ton of questions answered for you guys. But at the end of the year, to assure you guys that this is the task that I said, you could trust my word on this. But the task that I set out to do is to get these questions answered, to serve as an impact for the 2K community, to get this analytical data so that we could use this analytical data down the road when 2K really, really gets insane. And at the end of the year, I will show you guys my transaction history just like I show you today, to assure you that no money spent. Based off loving the game of basketball, that don't change the fact the game is horrible. Yeah, and that's when, like I said to the homies earlier, that's when I realized there was a problem. It's because I look back on my experience of 2K23, where it's currently deleted. I got off the game mid-cycle just to go play Zelda and stood off for a while and built a whole nother channel. I didn't enjoy my experience playing 2K23, but yet still spent $1,200? How does that make sense? It wasn't fulfilling. Every time I got on, I felt exhausted. I was yawning. I was checking the time. That's not my usual experience playing 2K. My usual experience is my older experience, I should say, as early as 2K20 when I had Legend. My older experience was I couldn't even keep track of time. That's how much I loved playing the game. I couldn't even keep track of the time. 8 hours flew by like that. Now I couldn't play the game for an hour without getting exhausted. FIFA community looking at this. We've been in this boat since forever. And I heard about that. I learned about that, Zeus. I learned about that as well. During this process from yesterday to today, I've been learning a lot. And poor FIFA, man. Poor folks playing FIFA. But we're right there now. Madden is right there. Not to mention the fact that they're exploiting Mamba. I thought the same thing. Oh my God. Christopher said, not to mention, hold on, I got to read this because I thought the same thing earlier. Not to mention the fact that they're exploiting Mamba. My homeboy told me he almost feel like if he don't get the $150 version, he's not honoring his memory in some way. And that'll help segment, and I didn't want to mention the homie's name, but unfortunately I have to because it was my exact thought process when I read a post from Uncle Demi saying, we're doing this for Mamba. Something like, let's keep his legacy alive. And I said, if that ain't some wildness. Now, I don't know what his intentions were for that post. He could have been completely genuine. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he was completely genuine from solely being a fan of Mamba. But man, I can't help but tell you guys, that's one of the first thoughts that popped into my head. Hell nah, he's not trying to exploit. It was a thought that popped into my head. I just got to share that with y'all. I come to 2K to get away from FIFA stress. Ain't that some? I remember going to get water for my lady and going to play 2K19. Came back 2 hours later without the water. Facts. You lose track of time. Uh, these dudes be saying anything, you know the intentions, bro. Kobe rolling in. Yeah, rolling in his grave. Yeah. Buy VC for Kobe. Haha. Facts. What the WTF? I didn't even think of that. Oh, hell no. Nah. You can't put sales on 2K on Mamba's name. That's just disrespectful. You know, it's important for us to just see things a little differently, man. It's important. I think it's just important. Like if we could serve as the slightest impact for a couple people to say, if I spent $400 on 2K23, maybe I'll spend 200. That, for me, that's a W. Because you didn't make a bill just to make a bill for no reason. You waited. 2K has all the analytics. When you making that bill, bam, right to the analytics. That microtransaction, bam, right to the analytics. When did you make it? What time did you make it? Was it post or pre-patch? They get all that stuff, yeah? They probably know the move you're going to make before you make it. They probably banking on you to make that move. And I'm not knocking 2K as a business. They are successful. They're smart at what they do. What I'm just saying is maybe we got to smarten up too. They used us for the analytical data, which is why they offered you free seasons. They're offering you free seasons now as well in 2K24. How long will that last? You might always have a free season, but I guarantee you guys, you are not always going to have good rewards. Folks got every reward for 2 or 3 seasons, and damn, everybody complained that the rewards were terrible. What do you think you're finna get now that they have paid seasons? What do you think is going to be behind the free version of the seasons? Come on, make it. This the writings on the wall has been in our face, but sometimes we don't see what's in front of our face. Sometimes until you put the number, the dollar figure out there, then folks are like, "Oh, word, word! I spent 500. Word, I spent 1,000." All city spends $100. That's enough for 2 players. That's what I do. I'm not spending nothing. $70. That's it. And you know what's crazy? Yeah. You know what's crazy is that none of us in here think $70 is enough to play a basketball game. That's the most, and this should help us understand how like conditioned we are. Don't nobody in here think solely $70 is enough to play 2K. We're almost conditioned to the point that it's almost second nature to think, well, I spent $70 on this, and then I'm going to have to pay to get the VC to upgrade or do this or add that, buy clothes, or it's almost like we're all conditioned in that way. 70. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because when I was watching the Angry Joe video, he says something like free. He mentioned 2K free. He said, what am I saying here? 2K is not free. You got to pay for the game. But paying for the game is not enough when you pay for 2K. The game alone is not enough. The cost for the game alone is not enough. So George Cummings says 70 is enough. They have us in their power as well. So I'll tell you guys the road that I went through. I said, yo, if anybody that knows me knows, for entertainment, hell nah. I'm not one of them club goers. I had my time really young. I'm not one of those who need to be drinking. Got to get a bottle. It's not me. I've always been able to curb entertainment, and a good part of my entertainment for years since I was young has been video games. So when I see that I spent this amount of money on a video game, I said, nah. They're trying to get in. Hoax with the 23.99 super chat. Appreciate that. Salute to you. 2K was smart though. First, they bought some content creators with logos in 2019 and then bought the NBA monopoly. Interesting you said that because me and Heck were having a similar conversation. And I'm going to get into that throughout the year because there's a and I'll just put this out there slightly. There's a misconception, and we don't need to elaborate on this because I don't want to start speaking names and all this stuff. But there's a misconception in the 2K community that becoming a next maker, and I'm not knocking next makers at all, respect and salute to them. But there's a misconception that becoming a next maker or getting a logo is getting in the door. I'm going to help clear up that misconception this year, yeah. From what I've experienced, and I'm more of a numbers guy, especially when it comes to YouTube analytics. From what I've seen, and also the 2 times over the last 2 years that I pursued ventures on different channels, completely different channels. I've had my All City channel for 8 years now or something like that. I could be mistaken. What are it, maybe not that long, maybe 6 years, something like that. I've had this channel. The 2 brand new channels that I created, my views on the 2 brand new channels exceeded well past anything I've ever accomplished on 2K. Well past. I had on the first hip hop channel, got close to 1 million views on one video. On my Zelda channel, I think of videos at 240,000 views. The highest view video on this 2K content, not to say that you can't get higher, but my highest view video is like at 135,000 views. What I'm getting at is that there's a cap on viewership for 2K. And salute to the folks who take it outside of 2K. And a lot of this is based on the creator, and that's facts. But what I'm getting at, viewership in general for 2K seems to have a cap or a ceiling for the good majority of creators. So the idea of becoming a next maker or that being considered getting in the door is getting in the door to where? Where is it taking you when you get in? This is what I'm confused about. Because what does it really do for you is what I'm confused about. Maybe I need clarity. Maybe I need better understanding, but it should prove true in your numbers is what I'm getting at. And then I would like to factor in the idea of it's something that you could have done without 2K or without affiliating yourself with 2K. Just again, I'm not hating on folks at all. I just want to make that clear, but it seems to be a misconception that that's considered getting in the door. And I'm like, no, man, that's almost like slamming the door or putting a roof over your home, putting a ceiling on you, because there's so many different ways that you could pursue success as a content creator. And when you consider different alternatives, different genres, niches, forget about it. The sky is the limit. It's the limit. Push it to the limit. Got 11 sub, not lost, but double digit milestone. Hey, that's what's up, Zeus. Salute to you. Oh, City Lati 70 is too much for a game that often winds up being utter garbage. By the time you get into it, on top of finding ways to convince you to spend more money. Facts. Ooh, that was crazy what the homie Stretch Pig said. Clothing is cheaper IRL than in 2K. Badge plug. Nah, don't say that about Badge plug. Don't say that about Badge Plug is the homie. He said Badge Plug wants to be the next Uncle Demi. That is not. I don't know what Badge Plug wants. But what I do know is what he delivers. And he's been transparent. I saw the video where he's talking about he's trying to talk with 2K. But he's trying to do it from a perspective to help create change for gameplay. If that's it for him, then so be it. But Badge Plug has always showed our channel a tremendous amount of love, and I would never even attempt to tarnish the homie's name. That would never happen unless he shows something different. Low key, I heard yesterday a YouTube say straight up 2K gives him VC to make his video online. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Next makers pay for Boo season or the game even. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I could tell you. Would that be enough? Is that getting in? Maybe it is. This is a dead serious, honest question. Do creators feel like it's considered getting in because now you get the game for free? Or now you get VC? Is that like the come up? Because if that's considered the come up, I would urge you guys to reconsider content creation. There's so much potential to increase viewership and get real money instead of getting VC. There's so much potential to make something really happen, life-changing, than getting a free 2K24. So interesting stuff, man. But we're going to talk about this more because we're going to have a lot of things to talk about. I want to help change that misconception. And maybe we got to talk to some 2K next makers and find out some more details of what's the actual incentive of becoming a next maker. What is it? Is it really getting in? And what is in considered? So, I would love clarity on that. And I'm not saying this, I'm not trying to be smart here. I'm dead serious. I wouldn't mind getting clarity on that from a next maker. Help me understand why you guys refer to it as getting in. And it may not be every next maker that's referring to it as that. But I will say I've heard a couple next makers refer to it as getting in. Almost like it's a come up. And I'm saying, okay, explain the come up to me. We need to invite one of them to stream with you. Yeah, we could probably make that happen. I got a few people in mind that I could think of. Good people that we won't have to worry about toxicity or things getting silly. I got a couple people in mind. Just wait till December. The game will be free by then. And that's facts. Is the new title for... You see, J Babe, salute to you for saying that. I worked at the largest record company. There were three largest record companies. This was the third largest, EMI North America. It was Capitol Records, Virgin Records, Blue Note Records. And I worked there for close to a decade. And we had a ton of people who just wanted to kind of be on the street team. If you guys don't know what the street team is, they're the ones who put up the posters for new albums and things like that throughout the city. So it's ironic that the homie said next maker equals intern. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far. But Uncle Demi did say that as a next maker is a one hand wash the other type of thing. And you got to, this his words, not my words. You got to do. 2K expects you to do. Scary. But that reminds me of like the interns that we experienced throughout my time spent at EMI. They were happy to just be there. Like folks was just, because stars would be walking around. So folks was just happy to just be there. Be invited to the parties, the after parties, the listening parties. And, like we were the ones setting up these parties. And we'll see them just hyped to just be around there. Got nothing out of it. But maybe a memory. Is a memory good enough? I think this is a lot dependent on the person. Because somebody could turn a memory into something that lasts forever. So a lot of it is dependent upon the person. So, a lot to talk about, a lot to find out. I would like to have these type of talks with an actual next maker. It'd be dope. I don't play Madden, no. And after this 2K stint, I doubt I'll get into Madden as well. If you're already a content creator doing well, adding next maker isn't bad at all. There you go, Zeus. From saying how it was sometimes to now, he had nothing but good to say. Yeah, I don't want to turn this into hate Uncle Demi stream, man, because I am not on that type of time. Like I always respect every man's grind. But the way I see it, for anybody who's standing on 2K, yeah, you can stand with them, but I'll have my opinion because I stand as a consumer. I stand as a player. So I'm going to always give my opinion from that perspective. And what a man chooses to do to make his living, that's his own. And I'll never knock that. But as a consumer and how it affects me, I might talk about that. You know what I'm saying? All right, my G's. Y'all wildin'. Y'all wildin'. Yeah, go crazy, man. It is what it is. Truly, truly appreciate y'all and y'all support during this journey because it's going to be tough for me, y'all. Like I said, I'm a player who's inclined to just go right online, inclined to just spend that $100. So a no money spent playthrough for NBA 2K24 is definitely going to be tough for me. And I am truly going to need your support during this process. And I will truly appreciate your support during this process. And this doesn't mean that you have to do what I'm doing. But I ask you guys, just be cautious when you're spending that dollar. Just be cautious. And offering your support in any way you can, a like, or come through, say what up, or come through, just show love, say, hey, good luck with your grind, whatever it is. How's the grind going? I'm going to be documenting this whole process along the way for 2K24. So hopefully you guys could show that support. Wishing y'all all safe and blessed rest of the afternoon. I'll catch you guys either on the next video or live stream.